The Dyatlov Pass mystery. 9 hikers walked into the mountains. None came back alive. What if I told you? 9 experienced hikers walked into the frozen mountains of Russia. Weeks later, rescuers found their tent ripped open from the inside, shoes neatly lined up, bodies scattered across the snow. Some were missing eyes, one had no tongue. Several had injuries so severe doctors said they looked like a car crash. And the Soviet government closed the case with just one sentence: an unknown compelling force. This is the Dyatlov Pass mystery. This wasn't a group of amateurs. In January 1959, 9 young hikers, most in their early 20s, set out on a skiing expedition in the Ural Mountains of the Soviet Union. They were university students, engineers, war veterans. They were led by Igor Dyatlov, an experienced and respected hiker. They knew the code, they knew the terrain, they knew survival. Their goal was simple: reach a remote peak and return. They never did. On January 31st, the group set up camp near a mountain locals called Kolat Shiaikal. That name translates to something chilly, Dead Mountain. The next morning, February 1st, they planned to cross the mountain and continue their journey. That night, something happened. Something so terrifying that every rule of survival was abandoned. When rescuers finally reached the area weeks later, they found the tent first. It was still standing, covered in snow, slashed open from the inside. Inside were warm clothes, boots, food, and cameras. Outside were footprints, bare feet, socks, some wearing nothing but underwear, in minus 30-degree temperatures. Why would the experienced hikers run half naked into a frozen wilderness? The first 5 bodies were found scattered downhill from the tent. They had no major injuries, only signs of extreme hypothermia. But then, things got worse. 4 more bodies were found weeks later in a ravine. Their injuries were horrifying: crushed ribs, scattered scalps. One woman had no tongue, another was missing eyes. Doctors said the force required to cause these injuries were comparable to a high-speed car accident. Yet, there were no external wounds, no signs of a fight, no animal attacks, just broken bodies in perfect silence. Then came the details that still haunt investigators. Some clothing was found to be radioactive. One hiker's skin had an orange tint. Another had gray hair despite being in their 20s. Photos recovered from their cameras showed blurred images, panic, lights in the sky, according to witnesses in nearby villages. The Soviet military quickly stepped in, and then the case was closed. It was sealed. The Soviet government closed the investigation in May 1959. Cause of death? An unknown compelling natural force. No further explanation, no public discussion, no accountability. Families were warned not to ask questions, and the mountain was closed to visitors for years. Over the decades, theories exploded. Some believe it was a secret military weapons test. Others believe it was something else, though the evidence doesn't fully match. Some suggest infrasound caused panic and hallucinations, or something not human. To this day, no theory explains everything: the injuries, the radiation, the missing organs, the slashed tents. Every explanation fixes one problem and creates another. The Dyatlov Pass mystery isn't just about how they died, it's about why they ran. What could scare 9 trained hikers so badly that they fled barefoot into certain death? Whatever they saw that night, whatever force they faced, it was enough to make them choose the code over staying inside that tent. And that question still has no answer. Do you think something really happened? Well, if stories like this unsettle you, you might want to subscribe, because this is just the beginning.